Hey, welcome to another episode of Your Faith and Health Community. I'm your host, Pastor Jackie Jackson, and as always, on behalf of myself and our producer, Anita Alexander, we want to thank you for taking out time today to watch our show. And we really hope and pray that we say something that will be, and we really hope and pray that we say something that will improve your quality of life and that will give you some information that will definitely be helpful and needed and wanted. Now, before I get started, you know where I'm going. In fact, somebody's probably already saying it. Oh, God, he's going to talk about healthcare again. I already got it. But I'm talking to, if you've got it, that's great. But if you haven't gotten it, you know what I'm getting ready to say. If you have not enrolled in health insurance, now is the time, right now, today. If you are single, I'm going to start with Medicaid. If you're single and your income is $16,223 a year or less, you are eligible to enroll in Medicaid. In fact, you can enroll in the marketplace. Let me tell you what's great about Medicaid. It covers dental, medical, vision, prescriptions. It covers emergency room visits, doctor's visits. It's a great thing to have. And you never know when you're going to need it. Now, if you're a family of four with a combined income of $44,500, right around there, then you and your family are eligible to enroll in Medicaid. What's also awesome about Medicaid is there is no open or closed enrollment. Medicaid is open year-round. You can enroll any time of the year. Now, if you don't meet the financial criteria to enroll in Medicaid, then you need to go to the marketplace for marketplace insurance, also known as Obamacare. You need to enroll actually it doesn't start until November, unless you've had a life-changing event. If you've recently gotten married, recently gotten divorced, had a baby, if you've recently moved into the state of Ohio, changed jobs, lost a job, or you're coming home from a penal institution. In other words, if you've been incarcerated and you're re-entering back into society, that's called a life-changing event, and you can enroll in health care right now, today. And whether it's Medicaid or Marketplace, it's still going to take you, Medicaid is going to take you about 30 days before it kicks in. So you want to go ahead on and get it done. Marketplace, until you make that first payment, once you enroll online, until you make that first payment, you're not insured. But if you make that first payment, if you're prepared to do it today when you enrolled, you will be insured, right? Now, I'm going to cut it short, and I know some of you are like, God, thank goodness. Because we have still with us Cincinnati police officer, Princess Davis. And if you're just seeing the show and you didn't see the last one, I want to read her bio. This bio is awesome. Thought I had it, but I didn't. Here we go. Cincinnati police officer Princess Davis has been a member of the Cincinnati Police Department since February 1993. She has devoted her career to the communities she served as a neighborhood liaisons officer, as a recognized advocate for the area's senior citizens and Cincinnati's youth. Her current assignment as the department's Citizen on Patrol and AAA School Safety Patrol Coordinator has proven her most exciting and challenging endeavor, allowing her to focus on community partnerships throughout Cincinnati's 52 neighborhoods. During her 25 years of service, Officer Davis has been recognized by her colleagues and citizens alike for her optimistic, willing attitude, generosity of spirit, and determination to make a positive impact every day. She maintains the respect of those she encounters because she firmly believes that policing is more than enforcing the law. It's also about quality of life and building community awareness, participation, ownership, and greater focus toward achieving that. As both a mother and grandmother, Princess Davis maintains a passion for Cincinnati's young adults. She has worked with communities to identify and develop solutions that effectively lead unsupervised teens off the streets. For many of these teens impacted, Officer Davis has exemplified the closest thing to parental authority they have ever encountered up to that point. And they've grown in the knowledge that she cannot and will not give up on anyone. 19th century Russian author Anne-Sophie Swashine eloquently stated that there is a transcendent power through example. We reform others unconsciously when we walk uprightly. Police officer Princess Davis is not recognized for just one shining achievement, but rather for inspiring others in our community to shine each day by the example she provides. Her unparalleled dedication and service can only be defined in one word: awesome. Now, nearing retirement, Officer Davis continues to be an inspirational, living testament to the power of one. To fellow officers and citizens alike, with love and faith, she has demonstrated a career well deserving of the recognitions that she has received up until this point, and I'm sure some that she will receive before she actually takes her leave into retirement. We can all thank God for the angels that watch over us. This one is robed in a dark blue uniform with a white police hat for a halo. Cincinnati Police Officer Princess Davis, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being on the show and spending time with us. For people who don't know you, just tell them a little bit. I know I've read your bio, but tell them a little bit about yourself.
I started as a police officer, but that was never my dream. My children were in the DARE program in school, and they came home one day and said that the police department were looking for a few good men and women. And they encouraged me to be a part of the police department because of the caring that I had for the kids in the community. Everybody would kind of hang out at my house, eat, play, the whole nine. I was a tough love. I loved the kids, but I knew tough love as well. So I always balanced everything. But I would always, even if I had to discipline you, I always got to get a hug from you to let you know how much I love you. But the kids, my two girls especially, they encouraged me to become a police officer. And here, over 25 years, I am here. One of the best jobs I ever had. And if I've never thanked my girls in public, I want to thank them today. I want to tell them thank you so much for encouraging their mother to take this job. This is the best job I've ever had in my life. And thank you to Cincinnati Police Department for having me.
Wow. So listen, if you've ever encountered Officer Davis, in whatever capacity, whether as a speaker or maybe she's had to arrest you, but you have been handled with care and with love, you need to thank her daughters for pushing her toward this position. And obviously that was anointing that God gave to them, to the babies, to the children, to push you, because over 25 years, the work you've done, the recognition you received, the awards, the accolades have definitely said you were where you were supposed to be, even if you didn't know it at the time.
Yeah, and that's happened to me one time. I was going to leave after about 6 or 7 months. I had my stuff already packed up. I was going to Chief Stryker to tell him the next day, I'm quitting. I can't take this. I'm not a harsh person. And that night, the Holy Spirit dealt with me. And he pretty much told me that this is a ministry for you, that I would go places ministers would never be able to even go to. And I'm looking back 25 years later, God's word came to pass. I have gone in places, some of the remote places that you wouldn't even find a preacher, they would be too afraid to go. But this job has turned out to be everything he said. He has used me to his glory, and I thank him for that.
And see, before we started the show, I said minister.
Yes.
And you were like, ah! So, and then you just came back around. So there we go. My confirmation, yes. So, you mentioned the DARE. That's just not really long, but because we have some things we know we want to get to. But what is the DARE program?
Well, it used to be, we used to have it in schools. They did away with DARE, which stood for Drug Abuse Resistant Education. It was they had officers to go into the schools to talk about drug awareness along with other programs, but they were in the schools every day on a daily basis. And over time, because of the budget, it kind of faded out. But that was one of the best programs to me that the police department has ever had.
Didn't they have like a muscle car? Wasn't there a vehicle that had DARE on it that
Right,
they would
we had
take to the
DARE
schools?
cars. Yeah, they had
okay.
DARE cars and everything. Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
I don't think they were doing it when I was in school. I don't remember. I don't mean I remember it from when I was in school.
Right, the girl. Yeah, it came along. I think in the late '80s, early '90s, somewhere in there.
Oh, early '90s. Yeah, I was still in elementary
Yes.
school.
No, you.
Okay. I want to jump in on some of the things, and one of the things I want to talk about that you do, which is the Cincinnati Police Citizens on Patrol Program Coordinator.
Yes, I coordinate. It's a volunteer-based program. I'm in 31 communities right now. We have active members. They go through a 12-hour training. They pass a background check. They have to apply, like the application, and apply. What we pretty much train them for is to be eyes and ears of the program. And the only weapon that my citizens on patrol have are radios. We train them how to use the radios. I have my own set of Citizens on Patrol radios, but they're on our same frequencies. So if something happens, they can come over the air. They're trained how to use it and when to use it. We do walking. We do sitting patrols. We do bike patrols. And we do vehicle patrols. Yes.
I didn't know Citizens Patrol was on bikes.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
bike patrol. I used to have a couple of guys. It was about 4 of them. They used to patrol downtown and over the Rhine, but now it's expanded. This last training I had a couple of years ago, I had about 12 bikers to come out. So long as they patrol with 2, you know, and here's the thing, in most of my neighborhoods, when you're out on foot patrol, it has to be 3 or more members patrolling for safety reasons. But if you're driving, the driving patrols, and I have 12, my fleet is 12 vehicles throughout the city. You'll see them out there. They'll park and they'll walk. A lot of the businesses know them. A lot of the neighbors know them because their neighbors in their communities patrolling. So they know them very, very well. And the program has been in place since 1997. I took it over in 2008, and to date, I'm still there.
That's 20 years.
Yeah,
All
so
right.
it was close, but I love it. I love the program.
So let me ask you this. I want to be a citizen on patrol. You know, I just watched the movie and now I'm expired, and I want to be citizen on patrol. What does that look like? What's that process?
You pretty much go online. You can get an application, or you can give me a call at 513-352-3533. Call me. I can send you out or email you an application and send you out the information on what it pertains to. But it's pretty much what I just discussed. It's a volunteer base. You have to pass a background check. Say, for instance, you maybe had misdemeanors or something back 20, 30 years ago. As long as it's not a violent crime, you're good.
What if I had a felony 30 years ago?
If it's 30 years ago, I would look at that and consider it, and more than likely, you'll be okay.
So now I've made the call, I've gone online, and I've gotten a chance to talk to Officer Davis, and she says, you're good. What should I expect? I don't know if you can talk about the training,
Yeah.
but what is the training
Yeah,
like?
the training I have guys that come in and train on gangs, drugs. I have a guy, one of my guys, Officer Tim Bly. He is excellent. Oh my goodness, he comes in with all the fake drugs and he lays them out, the skillet, the everything, and he shows people because a lot of people don't know what drugs look like. They don't know the drug paraphernalia like the little pipe or whatever, the things that they smoke from. So he lays everything out so they can see a visual of everything, and it blows them away. Oh my goodness. And he shows how before you start drugs and the process that you go through the years with drugs, how you physically look. And you always see the new people, they looking like, oh my goodness. They can't believe, like, oh my goodness. Then I have Joe Rourke, that he comes in and talk about the gangs. And he lays it out, shows them pictures, examples, the whole nine. I also have Fred Gilmer come in, and he is awesome. He talks about the mental health part of it and the personal safety. You're talking about somebody dynamic. Fred Gilmer, he is awesome because even if you don't complete the program where you choose to change your mind, taking that personal safety class, that'll change your life for the rest of your life. I mean, it's some awesome training. I've had just about everybody, maybe except for 2 or 3 people in all the years I've had Citizens on Patrol, that just opt out because it was just overwhelming for them. But they always walked away with that personal safety, like, wow. So that's pretty much what you look for. Then my class, I teach the radio training. So we go over the scenarios and what to look for with the radios, how to use the radios, and then we do a demonstration right there. Now, once they complete the class, they graduate on to their coordinators. I have coordinators in every community that I have Citizens on Patrol. So once they're released, I send their information out to them, and then they contact them and go from there. Now, one thing that I'll leave you with Citizens on Patrol, we're all like a big family. The one thing I always tell them, if something goes on in the family, that's our family. Let me know. I like to send out cards. I like to call them, check on them, thinking of you, or, things like that, to let them know we're a family, so we care.
That's awesome. How long is the training? Is it like an 8-week or?
No, it's just 3 days. 3 consecutive
okay.
days, like 2 to 3 hours. It's really 3 hours for 3 consecutive days.
Okay.
Yes, that's it.
All right, and you get a lot of good training.
Oh, you get
and
a lot
of information.
Yes.
And then you get to go and do a lot of awesome work in the community.
Yes.
Because who better to look after the community than the community?
That's amen. That's the key.
All right, that's great. I want to move down too, are there seniors on the Citizens on Patrol?
It's a whole lot of seniors. The ages is from 18. I have one. Well, she just passed away not too long ago. She was 94. So the one now, he's 80. I think he's 82 or 83 years old.
He's not on the bike patrol, right?
No, he on the bike patrol. No.
Before we move on, do you have any young people? And
Yes.
I mean like any that you said it starts at 18. Anyone with, like, said, at 18 to 25? Right?
I have, but the 21 or 22, I have a couple of them on. But my average range from anywhere from 25 to like 45 years old. Yes.
Okay, that's that. Because I think it's important that there are young adults
Yes.
that are saying, I'm going to take an interest in my city and in my community and the people that are in there. Because if you're going to be a citizen on patrol, then you have to I think, I'm not one, so I'm just saying what I think, that you really have to care about the people
Yes.
in the community, because that's what you're saying. I'm going to go out and do, and I'm going to go out and do my best to make sure
Yes.
that everyone's quality of life is good, that people can be as safe as possible.
Yes.
And when needed, make sure that they can get the help
Yes.
that they need right away.
Yes.
So I think it's awesome that we have young adults
Yes.
that are actually getting involved. And again, I commend you for that and taking that on and working with and training and making sure that people are ready to go out in the community and do the
Yes.
work that needs to be done. I want to move down and talk about seniors, and that was kind of my segue into seniors, which seems to that's your thing right there.
I love my seniors.
And we know, and especially we're getting close to the holidays. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. We're getting close to Christmas, and that's when fraud pokes. I mean, his head is out all the time, but that's when it grows muscles and about another 80 feet tall.
Yes.
And for our seniors, they're vulnerable year round.
Yes.
And that's something that on here in your senior involvement, it talks about fraud advocate and educator for seniors. So can we talk about that?
Yes. The one thing I stress is when you're home, when that phone rings and you don't recognize that number, don't answer the phone. A lot of times as we get older, we are lonely because the group we were around, some of them have gone on or relocated. So we really, our circle has gotten smaller and smaller to the point a lot of us are confined to one room in the house. We don't go nowhere else. We might go to the kitchen, but we mainly sitting in that chair watching TV. So as soon as somebody call or somebody come over or ring a bell, we're happy just to be talking to someone. Well, in this day and age, that is not good. Screen your calls. I'm not a senior, but I screen my calls. When the doorbell rings and Duke Energy or the water company, if you didn't call them, they shouldn't be coming to your house. And even if they show up in a uniform, you do not let them in. Do not let them in. You ask them to give you whatever, put your credentials in my mailbox and I'll call your office. Or if you have a number that you can call, or call your child or your grandchild, but do not let them in. Once they get inside, you don't know what's going to happen. A lot of times, and it's rare that Duke Energy is going to show up at your door and you didn't call them,
right,
unless there's an explosion somewhere and you'll hear that yourself.
Some days it's rare that they show up if you call them.
Right. But you don't open up that door. I don't care if it's FedEx, UPS, or whatever. We've had crimes of all types to happen. Now the latest crime is they're going in and stealing your health information. When you go to places now and they're asking you for your Social Security number, no, be skeptical. I just had to sign up for Allergist Doctor, which is crazy, but on the form, it asks for your Social Security number. No, I'm not giving you my Social Security number. I did the first 3 X's in the line and then the 2 X's and then my last 4 digits. That's all, because my insurance card has my valid information on it. That's really all you need. Mm-hmm. So you don't be so quick to answer every question a questionnaire gives you or a person asks you. I don't care what profession it is, because once they steal your information, in America, you are guilty until proven innocent. Meaning, once they steal your information, once they steal your money, the government is not going to come back and say, oh, they took $10,000, we're going to give it back. No, now you got to go hire an attorney to fight for you to get your money back. So that's what it means. You are guilty until proven innocent. You have to go find the resources to fight your case to get your money back that you have worked so hard for. So it pays to protect yourself before these things happen. And that's with anything. Check your bank statements every month. Check any kind of statements that come in. Check it. Don't just throw that mail to the side. Check your statements to make sure it lines up. And for those of you that want to hoard everything, take out time to separate things that is not. If you've got taxes that's 20 years ago, you need to shred some of that. That's why we have the shredded event. We have it twice a year.
Oh, okay.
You have things that you need to get rid of. Get that stuff out of there. So if somebody was to come in there, they wouldn't be able to take your personal information and use it against you, because that's what happens. So when you have information that is no good, don't just throw it in the mail, because you have criminals that will go in the mail, get your information out. Get that stuff shredded.
And not think that, because I know people who feel that, well, it may have happened to so and so, but it ain't gonna happen to me.
Right.
I heard that somebody opened the door, but if I open the door, this is my house. I know where everything is. I'm gonna be okay.
Okay. No. And the other thing, when people, I don't care if it's your relatives. Sometimes we have kids and grandkids and significant others and whatever relatives. They have a chemical addiction problem. And I limit people to certain rooms in my house.
Mm-hmm.
There's only certain rooms. You ain't roaming all over my house. My grandkids will tell you when they come over and their friends come over, their friends have to sit right in that living room. You ain't going all back there where they at, and they coming right back out too.
Right.
Because they need to be out there with you. You don't allow people to roam all over your house. That's your domain, not theirs. So you confine them to one room, and when you know people are coming over, if you have valuables that are out that you know is very costly, you may just want to put them in a room and with a lock key, lock the door. You should always have a door in your house somewhere that has a key that you can lock that door to keep people from entering that room. Everybody should have that in the house, in your basement, wherever you have that room at. But that should be the room where you lock away, bedroom or the other room, something with a key where you can lock that door to let them know that room is off limits.
And also, if someone does go in and you weren't there,
Yes.
that someone has been in here, because I know I locked this door.
Exactly.
So when you're working with the seniors, is there a location that they come, or is there like a specific type training or training location for seniors to go through?
No, I speak all over the city. I have been for the last 20 plus years. They pretty much, it's mainly word of mouth, but if they want me to come out to speak anywhere, they can call me at area code 513-352-3533.
What's the speaking fee?
There's no speaking
There's
fee.
no fee.
No.
That's
I'm working for the Cincinnati Police Department, and I'm more than happy to come out to speak, because that's one more person or one more group that's educated on how to get to keep from being a victim of crime.
And I think that was important for people to know, because sometimes we don't go after things, or we don't act on things, because you're always thinking, well, what is it going to cost, or and even an understanding that you're Cincinnati Police, but does the police department charge for someone to come out? It would be good to get them, maybe come to our, I'm sure you probably go to the community council meetings and stuff of that nature, but for people to understand that it's not a fee. It's a part of what the city offers to make sure that your life is guarded, to make sure that you're safe. And I love to talk about quality of life, because that's really, quality of life is important.
Yes.
Because that's that one thing that is determining how you're going and how your day is going and how you're feeling and how you wake up in the morning.
Yes.
And quality of life doesn't have to mean money. But it's just that security, it's knowledge. The Bible says my people perish for lack of knowledge or lack of information. So when you have that knowledge and information, that improves your quality of life greatly, because you understand. There's also a program, Triad.
Yes, Triad. I've been a part of Triad since 1998. And Triad basically deals with every issue that senior citizens deal with. Every issue. So you have pro seniors, you have NAMI, you have Council on Aging. I mean, it's a slew of programs that are part of Triad, that when something happens, I can get a hold of someone from Triad, and they can direct me to the resources that I need to help this senior. I had a senior citizen that we had to get her placed in a new facility, because where she was at, the bugs, the drugs, the whole night, it was just overwhelming for her. And I had to get a hold of one of the ones that I just mentioned, like pro seniors, to get her out of there and get her moved.
My goodness, I tell you what, when you retire, you are going to need the rest. Listen, we want to thank you, Officer Davis, and we want to thank you for taking out time again to spend time with us. Listen, get enrolled in healthcare now, all right? As always, stay faithful, stay healthy.